Welcome back, Tippy-Tap 47.
Six.
Murray, we had to treat ourselves. You know, everybody's into the taking care of ourselves, you know, treat yourself attitude, and that's what we have to do here today. Because our fans put us through fucking hell.
Yeah, which you'll hear in a couple days.
Called The Predator, which is about a man named Shane Black. We had to rename him because he's a shameful human being who writes terrible movies. He got one movie in there, and thanks to Danny Glover and fucking Mel Gibson, carried him to the pinnacle.
That probably started his career. That probably is his first big movie.
Exactly.
So he has Mel and Danny to thank.
Exactly. And so
Mel Gibson's not that bad.
You're going to have to deal with 3 hours of pure ecstasy.
I can't believe it went 3 hours. It felt like 3 hours watching it.
Right. So me and Murray, of course, we had to bring our fucking rage levels down.
Yeah.
How do you do that, Tim Murray?
You talk about some wings.
You talk about our Lord and Savior,
some hot
wings, Hauser. Yeah, we had us some hot wings, Hauser. And holy shit, is he fucking as good as advertised. Like, we built wings up so high in our heads because of Getevin.
Right.
Have we really done anything else wings related?
No, we haven't, but after this, we're definitely going to do Vice Squad.
We have to.
Because he's channeling his character Ramrod, the crazy cowboy pimp, in this role of Jimmy Joe Walker. Bounty hunter for hire.
Right. And he's also a cowboy in this.
Yes.
Wears cowboy hats.
And he also slaps the shit out of a lot of women, much like Ramrod.
He's got the yellow tinted.
Well, let's start with most fuckable theme song in a while we've had. I mean, I was just thinking of all the sexual movements I could do to this theme song.
Fuckable, you mean Sweets and Scale?
Yeah, of course. I mean, Sweets and Scale.
Oh, man. Yeah,
Fuckability of music is one of the most important keys of the Sweets and Scale.
Right. You know, I was looking at the Sharper Image the other day. I was at the store looking for some electronics, and they have the electronic fireplaces these days. And they actually have a fireplace that plays the tune. So when you turn on the fire, it plays this song. Because, of course, what do you do in front of a fireplace?
You fuck.
You fuck.
You put ice on nipples and you fuck.
Oh, yeah. And we're prepared for 14 Tippy-Taps right now. And in one of those Tippy-Taps, we do see a seductive fireplace scene.
Right. By the way, this is just a standard Tippy-Tap. This is not a Cop in the Field, even though we're doing a cop show.
We are, yes.
Cop in the Field is our special thing where we do with guests, where we have them explain themselves through their favorite TV cop, crime fighter, what have you.
Exactly. Have you watched Hunter before?
Never seen an episode of Hunter. I was just thinking, I know I watched TV as a kid, but I never watched any of the shows we've covered. Like,
yeah.
I was aware of all of these shows, but I never watched, because I'm not one of those assholes that's like, I don't watch TV.
Yeah.
Or the worst is, I don't even own a TV. Like, they gotta let you know they don't own a TV.
Yeah,
no.
Yeah.
I was a dumb kid like everybody else, and I watched a lot of TV, but I guess I just watch cartoons and shit, 'cause I don't remember watching any of these shows.
Cartoons really did have that effect. I remember just watching shows because they were cartoons. Like, I'd be like, this is probably pretty good. It's a cartoon.
Yeah, it's meant for, we're a kid. It's meant for us.
Yeah. So hook, line, and sinker. So we're both coming at this new. We really don't understand Hunter outside of what we could gather.
Right. There was some kind of cultural osmosis. I knew some things about this show, even though I never watched an episode of it. So I was I'm going to be honest. I was ready to hate Hunter. I liked him. I liked his character. Maybe it was the Wings Hauser effect, because he makes elevates everybody.
Yeah, it would be interesting to do a second episode to see if we still like Hunter. Here's what I do like about him. We're so used to gruff, like fucking Stavros pushing around type of cops and everything. Right. Hunter is a laid back. He's like
I was expecting him to be like what you just said, like an asshole.
Yeah, but no, he is relatable, and he's
played by Fred Dreyer, who played for the Rams in the 70s.
Nice, interesting. And he's very flawed. Everybody jokes on him, and he goes along with it.
Yeah.
He's not offended by anything. He's nice to people. He ribs people too. He gives it right back. And he has one great Columbo-like trait: shitty car.
Yeah, I like that. Because cops have let's put it this way. For you guys can understand, if Magnum's Ferrari is like a high-priced call girl, then Hunter's cars are like $5 crack whores.
Yes,
They're
yes.
beaters.
Oh, yeah.
And I love that touch because cops always have cars they have no business owning.
Right.
Even fucking Dee Dee drives an IROC Z, which he couldn't afford it on a cop. Total Guido car. But yeah.
Well, she is playing like a big-haired,
I loved it.
undercover.
I was into her 80s look. I did not like the hooker look, but I did like her look.
Oh, wow. With that tight high pants.
I did not like
the
I didn't like the clothes at all. I'm just talking
Okay.
about the big hair and all that
You like
shit.
the shoulder up.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes
But
sense.
yeah, and they had good chemistry. I thought Dee Dee and
They did.
Hunter.
They worked really well. They were very smooth, and of course, he's got a black captain who really
yells
gives
at him.
him
Yeah,
shit.
played by John Amos, who was the dad in Good Times, and also he was in G&G favorite Beastmaster.
Beastmaster. Hello. So there is a lot of really good shit. I did really like Hunter, and again, he is not he is the butt of some jokes, but he's not super silly.
Right.
There's no super silliness to it. Everybody takes this seriously. I mean, except for the chief, who is enjoying cartoons. But he took it seriously too. Yeah, he had a
Not
good,
the police chief. This is a character later in the show.
David Blackfoot.
Known as the chief because he's Indian, and every Indian is known as the chief.
Yeah, of course. So this was a good show. What did I learn about it? You keep a whole arsenal in the trunk of your car that you use duct tape to keep
I love
shut.
that little touch.
Great touches everywhere in this movie.
Lot of whammy bar transitions.
Oh yeah, I forgot I was going to bring that up.
Overuse of it. And sometimes they would go a little higher.
Oh yeah,
no,
when you were supposed to feel like tense for a character, Dee Dee in that one scene, she's turning corners with her gun drawn. Yeah, they got up there, and when they get those higher notes, the
glass
shit.
I was drinking out of broke. It was that high.
It was that high.
Yeah,
you had to turn the speakers down for this. God,
and what can we say? Like, my God, Wings was so good in this
right,
episode.
we barely even talked about Wings slapping around the fucking hookers. he was pulling in Stingray energy. He was looking for a redhead. He was looking through bars. He was looking through cars. Nice boogie woogie reference there. So Murray, first episode, both of us thought it was good.
Yeah, I don't know the backstory at all. I don't know what. I'm assuming Hunter was in Vietnam because I think every 80s cop was in Vietnam.
Right, he was probably a Navy SEAL.
We did
Like
no
Mitch
research because we were so drained from fucking Predator.
Yeah.
And we actually prepped for 2. We didn't know if we were going to do one or another Tippy-Tap today. Fortunately, guests fell out, so we're doing it solo this time.
Right.
But
Again, we wanted to leave today on a high note because we have been just ripping out our hair and fucking punching the walls.
It's a great episode. Even though we almost died, it's a great episode, and you owe it to yourself to listen to it.
We finished the episode laying down on the floor with the mics over our faces because we were just drained. 3 hours. It was a fucking marathon. Anyways.
We had to get, like, IV drips.
So I'm interested in seeing another Hunter episode. We'll have to see if there's any more cool special guest stars,
Yeah.
and, work off of that. You said that the guy who did the show also did...
Stephen Cannell, he did our favorite Renegade. He did A-Team. He did a lot of the 80s.
I wonder
great
if
shows.
David Blackfoot ended up being like a character. He's like, I should work with this look, and that's how we got Branscombe as...
Maybe he saw... Yeah, the David Blackfoot actor.
Yeah.
He's like, I like that look.
Well,
he put it away in his...
Yeah, why is this guy a crook? He should be like a fucking hero. Yeah. And he is. He's fucking Branscombe Richmond. Well, obviously in Renegade. But this guy's a superstar.
Right.
He did so many good fucking detective shows. So, hey, here we are. We're enjoying Hunter.
This is our 3rd or 4th show we've done. He did 21 Jump Street.
Oh, yeah, 21, yeah.
He did A-Team. He did this. He did Renegade. Yeah, he's a prolific man.
He is. He gets around.
He did a show with Duty.
Show.
Didn't last it a year because it was Duty.
Yeah, well, Duty kills everything.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So, like many 80s shows, we start out, we get a nice tease of what we're about to watch. Because you can't have an audience hooked unless you tell
Sizzle
them.
reel.
Right. You got to show them the progression. We get to see a car driving on the sidewalk.
It is the 80s. We got to see a car. We have 2 car chases.
Yeah. We get to see a lady, like, push her stroller in front of it, slow it down or something. So we get to see the sizzle reel. We get to know what we're in for and why we need to stick around for the whole episode. So it's good. It's good bounty hunter action. We need to watch it all.
Right. And right off the bat, they give you what you came for.
Bam, bam, bam. Nice blues guitar. And we see the fucking hood ornament and just...
That's its own character in this show.
It
this
really
episode.
is. It really is.
This is like Mustang hood ornament. He's driving like a Cadillac convertible.
Yep.
Baby blue.
Yep. The white rims or whatever you're
White
calling.
walls. Yeah, they don't make white walls anymore. But, yeah.
You will notice, now that you're being prefaced on all this, in the Predator episode, we do actually reference Wings Hauser in this episode just to get us through, to power us through. We did bring this up just because we needed that fucking beacon of hope to get us through that bullshit.
And Wings, he's got a great look. He's playing a bounty hunter named Jimmy Joe Walker. He's from Alabama. We know that because he's a Confederate flag license plate on the front of his car.
Wearing the gunner shades, aviators, yellow tinted, because that helps you, see precisely.
Right.
That even allows you to see predators.
Right.
They didn't realize that. All they needed to do is pop yellow shades on.
Right. Well, Sensei Seagal would have seen that.
Sensei Seagal would close his eyes. The predator would try to chop him. He would grab the arm, break it off, and then turn it around and rocket him.
Yeah. And the look Wings has is great. I was getting very reminiscent of his character Ramrod from Vice Squad, which we'll be doing in the future. We'll probably do that in November. Okay. I got a lot of stuff planned right now. We got Schlocktober coming up.
Oh man.
But, so he's got the cowboy hat with the snakeskin hat band. He's got the black leather coat.
It's good.
He's got the does he have cowboy boots on?
Cowboy boots, ostrich skin.
All black. He's wearing all black.
All black. He's got a nice manicured beard going on here. Toothpick. Of course. I thought it was a matchstick at first, but no, it's just a toothpick. And he's got Wings. So fucking good. Everything he's in, he always adds to it. He's so fucking good.
So he's rolling into town, rolling into L.A. He's from Alabama, and because he's a bounty hunter, he's on the look for, like you said, David Blackfoot.
Yep,
the chief.
Yep, the chief pops into a bar, looking around, he's exchanging insane smiles with everybody. There's this one silent giant. He looked like a Native American man playing pool, and he's like, all right, I'm going to talk to the chief.
No, it was even better because the guy's shooting the ball, and he catches the 8 ball before it goes into the corner pocket. And then he just smiles that big, almost Gary Busey level smile. Yeah. And then he just fucks these people up, destroys his bar, throws that Indian guy out on the street, got the cue stick.
Yeah, we just know a scrap happens, and we see a guy get thrown through the window. We're looking down at this big Native American man, glass shattered everywhere, and then you just see those fucking beautiful black ostrich boots stepping, squawking. They just drops the pool cue on him. Right. Did he get any information out of this?
Yeah, because he shows up at Chief's place later on.
I mean, yeah, I guess he did.
So now we're back to the start of the show. Rick Hunter, I think is his name.
Rick Hunter.
And like any great cop who gets shit done by breaking the rules and following his own rules, he's getting chewed out by the black captain.
Here's what I also liked about Hunter: we see him doing as much desk work as we do see him doing field work.
Yeah.
Think about that. He's got his sleeves rolled up when he's doing desk work. He's answering multiple phones. This is cop stuff.
Actually, this is a switch because he's actually yelling at the captain. We usually see the reverse.
He completely disrespects his captain. The scene where he's eating crackers, some Soylent, right in front of his face, he's just like munching down, like, all right, I need a new car. It's awful.
So he barges into the captain's office. What's up with this warrant for David Blackfoot? McCall's out there, but we've been watching him for a week because this guy he's wanted in a bank robbery, but they're trying to find the money.
Right.
So he's like, why are we going? He's like, and the chief's like, look, man, we got to get this guy caught. We're worried he's going to jump fucking to Mexico or something.
Yeah.
And you got a lot of nerve talking with your bad driving.
But I'm an excellent marksman.
Yeah, he's like, I got 98 on the marksman. And he's like, yeah, but you hit one cone on your driving test. He's like, yeah, no big deal. One cone could be a child. It could be a fruit stand. It could be a plate of glass. It could be groceries.
It could be a stack of boxes.
Right.
In an abandoned Zarg alley.
And he's just like, hey, I'm a good driver. No, you're not. You're a lousy driver. Now get your partner, McCall, and you go get this David Blackfoot.
And we're down at Hooker Lane. And if you're a person who likes looking at background...
Hookers?
Hooker. Yeah, I guess hookers too. But background, hotel names and everything, there's a lot of good
There's
hooker
a
hotels.
lot of hooker hotels in L.A. in the 80s. I did not know.
Right.
I think it was probably the capital of hooker hotels in America.
Yeah, if you recognize the most disgusting human being in the world, too, you'll see Elephant Man actually pop up. And I'm, of course, talking about Robert Ginty.
Right.
He's popping into every different hooker hotel.
Checking the sheets.
Checking the sheets.
And so, yeah, like I said, I've never seen the show, but I always remember Dee Dee always going undercover as prostitutes.
Always.
Every episode.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, that's what she is. So he gets out of his car. He's immediately propositioned by a prostitute. All the prostitutes have bad wigs on for some reason.
All of them have the same wig in different colors. Too.
Yeah, and he's like, she smokes. He's like, thanks, I don't smoke. And
Yeah.
then he blows her off. It's like, McCall, let's go. And she's like, what the fuck? It's like, I thought we were watching this guy. He's like, no, the chief says, the captain says
We're
he
ready
wants
to
us
move
get the
in.
chief. Yeah.
I'll just go right it. You look like a geek. Let me go in there. I'll schmooze up to him.
Well, she looks like the kind of person who would be in a hooker hotel because she's just a hooker.
But doesn't she go up in there and say, hey, it's the police?
Yeah, she does.
Why didn't she try to proposition him like, hey, are you looking for a good time?
We needed an action sequence.
Okay.
So while they're talking, we see the chief finally. 7 foot tall.
Yep.
We got, it's not enough that he is a Native American. He'd actually had a Native American. They didn't have a white guy with brown face. He was covered in turquoise. Headband, all you need were moccasins to seal the deal. Like,
right.
Yes, we get it. You're an Indian. And he's sitting there watching, as most Native Americans do, Woody Woodpecker cartoon.
That was good. I like that part.
Yeah.
He had a giant fucking knife, and it didn't look like a normal handle. It looked like it was supposed to be like a deer skin or a staghorn handle or something close to nature, But then,
he had a dream catcher earring.
Yeah. He's like playing with the knife along his
jeans.
jeans.
He's engrossed in this milk.
And
he has a carton of milk, and he's just slurping and sipping on it.
It's good.
And he's just so engrossed in the Woody Woodpecker. He's concentrating like a motherfucker on this Woody Woodpecker cartoon.
He does look like a character, like somebody who's seen some shit, is nervous that the police are closing in on him. He's doing some good work here. He's got that 1,000-foot stare, and I loved it.
So, like you said, he's got the Rambo knife, and he's got a sawed-off shotgun.
Oh, yeah.
And a carton of milk.
And me and you both can count to 2, and we know that he's going to have 2 shots.
And I checked. Yeah, he does have like a Mad Max like double-barrel shotgun. It's not like a pump shotgun.
Yep, it's good.
And I checked to see if Carl Weathers had directed this episode because there is Carl loves to zoom in on the food.
Yes, he does the overhead zoom in on food.
Yeah, especially with M&Ms. That's his thing. That's a Carl Weathers movie.
It is, yeah.
And because they're zooming in on that milk, we're reading everything on. We know how much vitamin D is in it.
Every coupon.
Recommended daily amount.
Who's missing?
No, they didn't have that at that time. I don't think. Yeah, I think that was a couple years later.
Okay.
But he was missing the chief.
Right. We also know that what's his name? Jimmy Joe Walker. We just see, and they do this so many times, where we just see a close up of his hood ornament. And we're supposed to know that he's in the same area. And so McCall, damn it. Hunter is taking guard outside by the dumpster.
He's taking the back door.
And then on the other side of the dumpster, we have Joe Jimothy.
Well, Joe Jimothy.
Jimothy Joe.
Jimmy Joe. Don't disrespect wings like this. It's
I know.
Jimmy Joe. So he stops his car. Like we said, everybody in this show has an arsenal in their trunk, and so did Jimmy. He's got the fucking foam with the cut around shapes of the guns.
He watched Death Wish.
Right.
He knew what to do.
Right. So he grabs his he's got one of those pump rifles like the rifleman had.
Yeah, the lever action. That's what it is. Yeah. Lever action. Oh my god.
It's a Red Ryder BB gun, I think.
It is. That's
and he's ready to go. So he's walking. Hunter's hanging out in this alley.
Yep.
Dee Dee finally knocks. She's like, "Hey, it's like you said. Hey, it's the police."
Not using her undercoverness. Just, hey, police here, stand in my
Maybe
ground.
it was one of those things like Soylent Green, where there was a guy guarding the steps.
Maybe.
And so she
had
used
to
the
get by
hooker thing.
him.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So as soon as she says it's the police, he just fires off one shot out of the door. And then he fires off a second.
Yeah, she kicks the door in.
Yeah.
And then she's like, police. And then he fires another one. And then he screams a battle cry.
Yep.
I think it started raining.
Takes a folding chair and breaks the window with it.
Right. And then just leaps out. He does a swanton bomb into the dumpster.
Threw some thumbtacks all over the floor.
Right. And he hops up, and Hunter's like, what the fuck?
We get a slow motion shot here of the chief just popping up, and he's staring down at Hunter, and he's got his sawed off, and he's pointing it at Hunter, and then you just see the chief.
Yeah. And then Hunter, and we're thinking Hunter shot him.
Yeah.
'Cause he's a star. No.
Yeah.
Hunter's like, he's shocked. He's like, what happened? He goes around the other side of the dumpster.
Sitting on a trash, the big trash can that the
dumpster,
trucks have to come dumpster. There's a giant dumpster, and then there's the little dumpster next to the giant dumpster.
He's looking like the cat that ate the canary. He's just smiling, fiddling with the toothpick.
Oh my god, it's so good.
He's like, hey there, Hoss. He calls Hunter Hoss throughout this episode.
Yeah. So Hunter comes up, and he's just like, put the gun down, and he's sitting there with the gun across his lap, and he's like, whoa, don't worry about it, babe.
And
I don't know why.
He just slides right off of the end of that.
He doesn't. He even puts his hands up like he's going down a slide. He goes, "Wee."
And Hunter grabs him, slams him against the larger dumpster.
Right. He's like, "You just shot a man." He was pulling a gun. You should be thanking me. I saved your life. I stood your ground for you. Why can't my victory be your victory?
And he's like, look in my breast pocket. This will explain everything.
I like this even better because Hunter was just like, can't you count? That man had a sawed-off shotgun, like Mad Max. 2 barrels, 2 shots. You heard him. I heard him. Well, I guess I can't count as high as you, Hoss. Look in my breast pocket.
And he pulls out a wanted poster. And Hunter's like, yeah, but you killed the guy. Did you notice it said here, dead or alive? And then Hunter's like, fuck, I don't know what else to say. So now we cut to, Jimmy Joe's talking with some other cops. Cops have arrived. They're hauling the body away.
Right. And so McCall, or Dee Dee, what do we want to call her? McCall?
Well, either or.
Yeah, okay. So McCall and him, they're really bickering over, like, how do we get this guy? McCall's like, oh, I know what to do. I got a plan. I'm still in my hooker outfit.
I'll use my feminine wiles on them. They're irresistible.
Oh, yeah. And she's got this weird, Flintstones dress on with white feathers hanging off it.
I could see somebody in the 80s wearing that, though.
Okay,
as ugly as it looked.
It was hideous.
Yeah. So he handcuffs them together in the back of his beater.
Yeah.
And he's just driving. She's going over the top. So when she's like from fucking Brooklyn or some shit, you know, and he's like, so what are you in for? And he's just like,
she's trying to sell it like she was in the room with David Blackfoot.
Yeah.
She's like, I was trying to make they're using Indian because it's the 80s. She's like, I'm trying to make this Native American feel like a tall man, and then these guys come in and bust me up. She's chewing gum the whole time, smacking, bubbles and everything. I'm trying to make them feel tall, and they come and get me. Hey, forget about it.
Like, what did the chief do to you? Oh, nothing, man. He's just 10 G's. And she's like, he owed you 10 G's? And he's like, well, he owed a lot of money. That's why I had to shoot him.
Well, are you looking to cozy up with some new friends? I can tell you're not from around here. I can read people.
Yeah, and she's like, yeah. He's like, well, do you know a guy named Panhandle Pete?
Can't say I do. I just, I'm kind of, I just rolled into town.
Is he a guy who likes to party? He's just like, he wouldn't be into you, and neither am I. And then he just goes, wake me up when we get to the station. Puts his head over the eye and goes to sleep.
Perfect.
Cool as ice.
Perfect. So now we're back at the headquarters. And McCall, of course, she's suggesting, well, clearly this guy, I'm not saying he's gay, but he's missing an engine.
Yeah, he's clearly not into women.
Yeah.
And then even Connor's like, oh, so that means he's gay, I guess. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying there's a piece missing.
Yeah.
I showed him my feet, and he's like, Hunter's like, your feet aren't that nice, okay? I'm into shrimping.
Right.
And those are some popcorn shrimp you got going on, baby.
You don't want to be popcorn. You want to be cocktail shrimp. You want to be the real, limp dick fucking sitting on the brim of a glass with the cocktail sauce. Popcorn shrimp is shit.
So Hunter starts, some minor league bullshit.
Yeah.
Hunter looks up Jim's record. He finds out he is persona non grata in Texas and Idaho. And he's got 20 kills in the past year alone, all self-defense. So we see they're already releasing Jimmy Joe. He's getting ready to leave, and Hunter's like ready to escort him out of town.
Yeah, he's trying to usher him out of town because he's just like, this guy can't be going around my town just shooting people. Right. So he was there for David Blackfoot. They wanted to bring him to justice. They didn't get to do it. So he's like, I got to get this guy out of town. He's figuring he's all done now.
So he comes up to Jimmy. He's like, hey, I'll give you a ride at the airport. I think I'm going to stay a little longer, Hoss. And it's like, well, you got your
bounty.
Yeah. So what else is there? Well, that's for me to know.
And you to never find out.
Because dead guys, they ain't so funny. So Hunter follows Jimmy to his hotel he's staying at. Him and Dee Dee, they're in the hoopty. And Jimmy's walking out, so he stops him again. He's like, hey.
Do they even know what they're chasing? I mean, are they like also after Panhandle Pete?
No, they don't know anything about Panhandle Pete at this moment. I think Dee Dee calls in. She's like, look up this Panhandle Pete guy. It's all I know. I don't know. I don't have any information on this
they
guy.
knew the name Panhandle Pete. Yeah. They knew he was after Panhandle Pete because he brought the name up in the car. Yeah. So I think they were doing the calls about it. And so they're only going after him and keeping a close eye on him because they're like, who's this Panhandle Pete? We don't want any more dead people showing up. So that's their motivation. They're like, we got to stick on him because he's going to kill another person.
Right. And Jimmy's like, wow, Hoss, you're like a pit bull on me here, and you're like a speckled pretty puppy. Now, why don't we stop fucking around with all these fucking hillbilly sayings, and you get the hell out of my town.
Walk.
That sounds, where I come from, that sounds like a threat. Works for me.
Very tough talking here.
And then Jimmy Joe takes off.
He jumps in his car. Is this where we get the first car chase?
Yeah, they decide to chase him.
Yeah, because they want to keep a close eye on him.
Right.
And so he goes to get back in his car, but again...
Committing no crimes, by the way.
Yeah, no crimes.
Yeah.
Hunter's car is a piece of shit.
Right.
So he's trying to open the driver door, and it won't open.
Yeah. That was
the handle just pops right off.
Right, so Dee Dee's like, fuck it. She crawls across to the driver's side. She's like, I'm driving.
Yeah, he goes over to the passenger, opens the door, and says, get out so I can, drive. And she's like, I think I'll take over. Why are you still doing the accent? You're not undercover right now. I think I'll take over.
And so she's like, he's like, no, I'm driving. I'm starting the car. And she starts it up. They take off. We get a generic 80s TV show chasing, a lot of Tokyo drifting.
A lot of cutting through parking lots.
We do get one nice scene where Jimmy Joe's about to run a woman over carrying a bag of groceries. And I don't know if it's to distract him or what. She can clearly just walk out of the way. She hurls the groceries in front of his car and goes the other way.
I did notice a lot of shrimp cocktail in there. So she's having some kind of party tonight.
Right. So, but Jimmy Joe gets away.
Yep. The... Hunter and McCall, they of course just have to turn tail. They go back to the hotel.
What happens is the shit just blows out of the bottom of Hunter's car.
Yeah, I thought she hit something, and then the shit just falls out of the car, and we'll notice this shit because
bunch of parts, and oil.
It happens 2 or 3 times in this episode, and so they just walk back to the hotel, and then they're like, "Well, we didn't get him, but we can break into his room. Why don't you just pick the lock?" And
she's like, he's like, I can't believe you let him get away, McCall. It was your fucking shitty ass beater.
Right.
And he's like, it's not the fiddle. It's the person with the bow.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And then they walk up and then they go to his room. Yeah. And he's like,
great banter between them.
Right. Yeah.
It's fun.
Great chemistry.
Right. I wouldn't buy that car for $10 off of you. Oh, you owe me $10. I bought the pizza. Fun banter.
Right. And he's like, so, McCall, you think you can bust into this? She's like, I don't know if I want to because you want to get him legally. You know?
Right. She's on the right side of the law. Why don't we do this the right way? Let's hassle the fucking help.
The maid service.
Maid service.
So they start threatening them. They're like, we noticed that all the fire extinguishers are missing.
She has the right response right away. She just I don't fucking care.
It's a shitty job.
Yeah.
I think she's probably getting $3 an hour. This is like 84. This probably was minimum wage like $3 or $4 an hour.
And she's just like, I don't fucking care. And they realize this angle's not going to work because they're trying to get her on fire extinguishers. Yeah. There's not enough fire extinguishers. She's like, the manager's down there. I don't give a shit. And finally, they work it over where they're like, well, we are going to have to take you downtown then. And she's like, fuck, I don't want to go downtown. Well, I think the fire extinguishers are under the staircase, mate. Maybe they're in this room right here. So she's like, okay, I'll let you in.
I know, I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
Lets him in. That's in Jimmy's room now.
You like this set dressing they had here.
Yeah, because it was so ridiculous. Because I don't know about you guys, but if I'm ever in a hotel, I just leave the shit in the suitcase. I don't put my shit in the drawers and in the closet.
You don't have good jackets.
Well, right, exactly. Because Jimmy literally has a dozen black leather jackets all lined up in the closet.
And so while Mikhail is noticing it and just loving it, she's rifling through each jacket. The maid is watching her just go through every pocket and everything. And then we have Hunter on the bed, noticing that he's got the phone on the bed and he's got things circled in the phone book. And, of course, they're trying to do this on the down low.
Yeah.
And so he goes, achoo, and rips out a page.
Right.
And hides it in his newspaper.
Right. So they're like, well, all right, that's all we need to see here. No fire extinguishers, and they leave. And as they're walking, I forget what happened. Oh, he's like, wow, for a guy who's not into women, McCall, there sure are a lot of meat markets and wet meat markets and hooker hangouts on here.
Wet meat markets, yeah.
Yeah. And so it's like they actually, you could advertise, I guess, for hooker hotels back in the day. Yeah. So they're like, we need to check out some of these places. Meanwhile, Jimmy's checking out some places too.
Now, we have a lot of good fucking names. Jimmy Joe Walker.
Right.
Hunter. Dee Dee McCall. Now we're getting Uptown Bill Brown.
Right.
Great fucking pinky ring, mustache, flat-brimmed hat.
I thought it was like a Panama hat or something.
Panama hat, maybe.
Like that.
Yeah. And, of course, he's got his own club and everything.
His own hangout. Yeah, the Body Shop.
Yeah, the Body Shop.
A lot of great names for sleazy clubs in this one.
They have their own special drink and everything.
And Jimmy's looking for Pete, because Pete's a pimp, too. This guy's a pimp, obviously. He's Uptown Bill Brown.
Yeah, he's trying to play it cool at first. He's just trying to pump him for information. You see him, like, fiddling with his bullet. I mean, that's his beverage, everybody.
Right. We know that. We know Wings loves his bullets.
I'm glad there was no fringe fucks in this bar, because he would have fucked them up.
And then Uptown Bill Brown starts sassing Jimmy, and Jimmy ain't having it. Jim's like, all right, I'm out of here. And he walks away, spins around, pulls out that sawed-off, shoots the jukebox, starts slapping the shit out of fucking Uptown Bill Brown.
And he changes his tune pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So he starts confessing, well, I do know that Panhandle Pete's been pimping out the long-legged redheads.
Right, and he's like, so now we get a nice montage of Jimmy looking for a redhead. He goes up to a pimp in a car, grabs the redhead by her hair, looks at her, is like, you're not the right redhead.
We see the pimp, like, turn around and start charging at him. He opens the door, and the guy, like, flips over it, and he throws a toothpick on him. Just totally embarrasses him.
Goes into a bar. He's dragging a guy across the bar, knocking shit off. Stops right there's one beer bottle, then he stops, takes a swig off.
That was a Wings.
Yes, that was definitely
They were like, okay, drag the guy across the bar, and he was like, no, I got a better idea. That was the last Wings we did. Beastmaster 2.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we did it specifically for Wing, and he was barely in it.
So, yeah, and then as he walks out, we see another redhead face all fucked up, beaten.
Now we go to the last bar, and he's just using his sawed-off shotgun, because everybody has a sawed-off, just smashing empty bottles for some reason. Just collector items in this bar. You see, like, the bartender, he's like, got panicked.
Bruises on his face.
Yeah, smashing all the bottles. We turn, we zoom out a little further. We see there's a redhead also all fucked up in the face. So he's just running around, slapping these broads around because they're not the broads he's looking for.
In his defense, they're just redheads. Well, I'm just saying, you've heard the phrase, some people take the carrot, some people take the stick, right?
Yeah.
But you heard the end part of it?
No.
Carrot tops always take the stick. So sometimes you got to slap a redhead around. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, they should expect it.
Yeah.
So they know it's just life. It's okay. Art imitating life.
So Hunter, like you said, he's doing some desk work. He's not just a guy who goes around shooting people.
He's got fucking 2 phones again. This is where we see him roll up his sleeves. This is where you get the real work done.
He's talking to a sheriff that knows Jimmy Joe. And as he's talking, McCall, who was at the body shop, she's seen what happened, the aftermath, the afterbirth, if you will.
Yes.
He's like, calling up. He's like, hey, hold on a sec. He's got one phone on one ear, one on the other. He's like, I'm talking to sheriff. All right, sheriff. It's still me. Dee Dee, what? He's like, he got confused. And he's like, sheriff, okay, thank you for the information. Hangs up. he hung up on Dee Dee because he's got two. This is the old days. You don't have cell phones and shit.
And then he did a bit where the phone wouldn't ring because he puts the phone on the wrong, sets or whatever.
Yeah.
And so it does. That's not how that would work, but it's still funny.
Well, no, because the sheriff probably hung up. So both got hung up.
But he hung them both.
He hung up Dee Dee's on the sheriff's phone.
Yeah. But it wouldn't matter because it's just gonna hang it up. He hung up both. Anyways, so he gets the phone. He has to switch them back for some reason. Then he picks it up because he knows that Dee Dee's gonna call him back real quick. So we're gonna learn a lot because she's at the last bar he was at where he smashed all the bottles. I believe.
Body shop.
Yeah, the body. Yeah, wait. Yeah, the body shop? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because Uptown Bill Brown was there.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay. And so that was the first one he beat up.
So she's like, yeah, he's looking for a long-legged redhead. So Hunter shows up at the body shop, and there's a redhead there, beat the fuck up.
Right.
And she's like, he was asking for Pete. And they're like,
we learned from the sheriff. This was on the phone. They're actually talking about
a
little bit.
We forgot this great line where he's talking to the sheriff. He's like, she's like, well, so much for my idea that he's not into girls. He's slapping the shit out of redheads. No, you're right, McCall. He's not into chicks. He's into straight ether.
Straight ether.
We don't know what the fuck that means.
We don't see a scene of him like huffing
Is that
off
a euphemism
ether?
for gay sex? I don't know. Because look it up, people. Straight ether. Is that an Urban Dictionary thing? Straight ether.
Yeah, this was perplexing, and it adds to Wing's mystique. He knows how to build a character. Right. So this is good shit. But yeah, you're right. He heads down to the bar now, and this is where they find out he's looking for that long-legged redhead.
She's like, yeah, Pete, he's been pimping out this redhead named Ginger. Maybe he's looking for Ginger. She gave up Ginger. That's what it was. She was like, I know who Pete is. Ginger. That's who you want. She's at the Tickled Pink Hotel. Love these totally inconspicuous names. You would never think anything sexually was happening at the Tickled Pink Hotel.
Which, I don't even want to get into that act.
So they arrive at the hotel. They hear screaming.
Yeah. And of course, again, every establishing shot when they arrive somewhere, we always see Jimmy's hood ornament right there in the foreground. It's so good. I love how they do this.
He is fucking the shit out of that. He's not fucking. He's fucking her up.
Yeah, this was a really good scene. So they charge in. They're talking to the bellhop or whatever the fucking guy behind the service desk.
Clerk.
Yeah. And of course, you got Ginty there.
And he's like,
wait, the sheets.
He's like, wait, you got to pay for the sheets before you can go up that room. Yeah. So Hunter throws a $5 down, grabs the sheets, runs up, wings, smooths cum on a gold tooth. He's just like
slicker than cum on a gold tooth.
He's just he's like, whoa, because they're like, you motherfucker, there's this bloody beaten woman on a bed.
Yes.
He's just standing over. He's like, you should be kissing my ass. I saved this woman.
I'm just a good Samaritan, okay? Ginger, tell them how I stopped the man who was harassing and beating your face in to a bloody pulp.
Right. And she's like, yeah, it was just some crazy trick. Yeah, he did it because she's scared shitless.
I didn't catch his name. He was 6'24" and he was fucking around for fun.
So, Jimmy's like, well, I guess my good Samaritan job is done. I'm off. And Hunter's like, he knows he slapped this woman around.
Right. So, of course, McCall's going to attend to the woman and be like, you got to tell us what you know. You clearly know about, you told him something. You need to tell us.
Did you give up Pete's location? And Ginger confirms, yes, I did. Cut to Hunter. Hunter's like, I got to stop this guy. We got to get him off the fucking streets because he's going to kill Pete.
And McCall reminds him, what are you going to stop him on? We've got nothing on him. We caught him red-handed beating a redhead, kind of, But no, they got nothing on him. So, of course, the cop's going to think. He's like, what are some of the oldest laws in the book?
What is some bullshit thing I can get off?
Anything. Muffler.
Broken tail light. Driving while black. I can't do that one, damn it.
You can't do that one. Driving while Alabaman. He has something hanging off his, what's it called, rearview mirror?
Hood ornament blocking your vision.
That's right. Didn't use a turn indicator. Anything.
But the movie goes, first of all, he just totally, he doesn't put on like the light and like pull him over. He cuts him off.
Yes.
And even Jamie Joe's like, wow, Hoss, I guess you need to learn how to drive. A lot of people have been saying that lately.
Yeah, it's a good one.
And he's like, well, what's the problem? He's going to be like, I'm going to get him on being drunk. Because he's been in bars. He took a swig off that beer.
Well, I like how we did this. We've been following your trail, and you've just been patronizing nice bars around our town, just drinking a beer, leaving it without any kind of problem. And we've gone to 4 bars.
Well, he didn't put a coaster under any of them, so
yeah,
there is a
true.
little bit of a problem.
Yeah. So that's how they know that he drank his full beers, because it was the one cup not under a coaster, or not on top of a coaster. So it made sense, and all the evidence piled up there. And so here's the thing. If you've been going to all these bars and having a drink, it only takes 2 drinks for you to be over the alcohol limit. So I see a little white line over there. I'd like you to walk it.
What's this line? I think are you asking me to square dance or something, Hoss? I don't know what you're talking about.
My mother didn't raise no Alabama pig. I don't see no white line around here, Hoss. Are you trying to get me on a swindle? A swandle?
You said it right the first time.
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah.
I had to make it more Alabama. Swandle.
Okay. Swindle.
Yeah.
So he arrests Jimmy and takes him in. Now McCall's at the hospital with Ginger. She's desperate to get this. Why? I don't know why she wants to save this fucking pimp guy's life, but
she's so bring him to justice.
But she's so desperate. She's like, I'll let your nasty whore ass stay at my place.
You can do tricks out of my basement.
Because she's just like, Jimmy's going to fucking kill me. He's going to get out on bail or get off, and he's going to kill me. I'm scared shitless. And she's like, look, I'll give your whore ass a place to stay. That's how desperate I am. Just tell me where Pete is.
So it breaks her. Dee Dee does a great job here. And we just see Dee Dee in the back, or not Dee Dee, but Ginger in the background, Dee Dee on the phone in the foreground, just calling up.
And she's like, "Oh, by the way, you're not going anywhere near my fucking place."
Thanks for the advice. You're not. And also that hospital bill, very real. And we did work as an ambulance, so we are going to charge you $30,000 for the trip over here. So we got you. We got you, bitch. You got
So she calls up Hunter with the tip that Ginger gave him, and she's like, and she saw Pete hanging out with Chief. So there's something going on. They used to pal around. Yeah. And now Pete's staying at this pricey hotel.
Over in Jersey, they used to hang around, right?
In Jersey, yeah.
Yeah.
And so, and he's like, she mentions the hotel, and it actually has a real name instead of the fuck house or whatever the fuck,
it's the Sweet Mesquite Barbecue Hotel.
And he's like, wow, that's pretty swanky for a guy like Pete.
Yeah.
Maybe. So maybe something is up. So he goes to the captain with his
he wants to tell the captain, I got great fucking news, but captain's coming by and he's like, you motherfucker, you brought this guy in. You think the captain's like actually keeping track of everybody he brings in, and he's just like
Hunter, he does, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. That's their connection. That's their love-hate relationship.
Right.
So he's just like, you brought a guy in for drunk driving. He had 3 beers. You know what that puts him at? 4.8 on the alcohol scale.
I can't argue with that, Hunter.
Yeah.
But still, he's going to be released.
Yeah, we're going to have to release.
Well, before he mentions that, Hunter gives his evidence. He's like, look, I learned some shit about this Panhandle Pete guy. He was hanging around with the chief. They were involved with this because we know that Chief was involved with the bank robbery. But get this, Pete they call him Panhandle Pete because he's the lookout for these bank robberies. And we had witnesses that saw a blind man standing outside the bank when the robbery occurred.
Right, because the chief is like pushing back and saying, why would Jimmy want to hunt down Panhandle Pete for a $1,200 bounty?
$1,000 bounty.
$1,000 bounty. It makes no sense for his MO. There's got to be something else happening here. Oh, yeah, Chief. There is
100,000 things happening.
130,000 things.
113,000.
113. That's an interesting number.
But it makes more sense, Mm-hmm. So he's like, so I think he's gonna get Pete, find out where the money is, and then he's gonna kill Pete.
Of course,
and head off to Mexico.
Because of course we learn about the Mexico thing in a minute here.
Well, because he's just like the captain's like, well. Thanks for telling me now, asshole. We just released Jimmy Joe.
Right. Because he does try to explain, I got to get this guy off the street so we can get Panhandle Pete before he does. Well, that's going to be tough. We did release him because, my hands were tied. My hands were tied.
So Hunter runs to the radio to call Dee Dee. We see Dee Dee roll up in her IROC or Guido machine.
Yeah. Oh, when she was back in the hospital after she was done telling Ginger, your skink ass ain't come anywhere near my house. She was like, I'm going to go over to the Sweet Mesquite Hotel, have some barbecue, catch this guy all on my own.
At the Sweet Mesquite.
Oh, my gosh. She's going to get so much all over her outfit, too. Her yellow her yellow sweater with the
classy. She'd wear a bib.
green fucking pants pulled way up.
It was the 80s, Griff. That's just the way they
just
grew
the
up.
way
That was
it
high.
is.
That was styling and profiling. And so yes,
like you said, you could only buy what was in the stores.
Exactly.
You had no choice.
No choice. So yeah, she goes over to the hotel. She's going to meet Hunter there.
Of course, we know as an audience that she's going into danger now that what's his name?
Yeah, because why? Because we see that Mustang hood ornament.
Yep.
Right as her IROC rolls in.
We see the IROC logo, and then we see her walk up, and then the camera just pans over a little bit.
And Griff pointed out she leaves her keys in the ignition. That's how confident she is.
She is in the good part of town now. The
Swank
Sweet
part,
Mesquite. Yeah, the Sweet Mesquite Hotel.
Right. So she goes up to the hotel room, opens the door. Everything's been just trashed. She's like looking around. We're getting some really chilling dance. And then she like goes. There's like a curtain. She opens it.
It's the Psycho scene, you know. She's seeing like the silhouette or something. She's like, "Oh my god!" Jump scare, not there. Jump scare, not there.
And then that's when Jimmy Joe pounces on her, gets her in a bear hug, and then hurls her on a bed. She's like, "Are you fucking crazy? I'm a cop."
Oh yeah, you are a cop. I couldn't tell, you fringe fuck.
And then he's like, he just commences to slap the shit out of Dee.
This is where they cut to black, but you hear a thud across her face.
Cut to black and blue.
Black and blue. There we go.
So now Hunter shows up at the hotel.
Yeah.
And he runs in, sees Dee Dee's all fucked up.
She's climbing. He's just clawing her way back up over the bed. He sees her clawing herself up, and she's like, "Oh my god, Dee Dee, are you okay?" And she's like, "I'm fine. He got my gun. He just took my gun."
Yeah, she's just pissed. She's not like being a victim or anything.
Yeah.
She's like, "I can't fucking believe it. He got the drop on me."
Yeah. And I believe now we just kind of cut to like the doctor being there.
Well,
and
yeah,
they're
EMT is like checking her out. He's doing the thing. We're checking her dilated pupils or whatever.
Right. He didn't use a match, which is what I thought was how you tested it. What was that, drug test?
That was Magnum.
Yeah, it was Magnum. In the
Yeah.
world of Magnum, that's how the Hawaii.
Well,
police
that's
do
when
it.
you don't have a pen light. You make do with what you got.
Oh, okay.
And so yeah, he's checking
an old Navy
her,
trick.
and he's like, "I really think you should go to the hospital. You probably have massive like internal injuries." She's like, "I'm all right. I miss the days when they just said you got a concussion."
Yeah. It's fucking
Walk
pussy.
it off.
It's pussy shit. I'll walk this off.
So while they're talking in the background, Hunter's rifling through all this shit.
Yeah.
And he's like, looks to me like Panel Pete's in the market for a Chrysler.
Right. Yeah, they're piecing everything together, and they're like, well, now Jimmy can't just get the money and lay low in America, so he's going to be looking for a new car. He's going to be looking for Panhandle Pete, and he's going to be looking to get to boogie on down to Mexico because he has abused the fuck out of a police officer.
Right. You can't walk away from that.
You can't walk away from that.
So they're like, well, why don't we go to this dealership? Pete might be there.
And it just so happens we cut over there. There's that hood ornament.
And we see Pete, humongous grandma gold hoop on his ear.
Right here.
Right, which we know what that means in the 80s, guys.
Yep.
He plays for the other team.
He plays for the other team. He's missing some parts, as Dee Dee would say.
He's straight ether. He's straight on ether.
Straight on ether.
So he's finalizing the deal with the dealership guy. And as he jumps in his car, he's got a nice big stogie, imagining it's a penis.
Well, he was thrusting it into his...
He was licking at the tip, and then, he was doing a number on that cigar.
Yeah, he was. They told him your character's gay, acted up, and he was like, "I'll put the earring on the right."
And then, as he's deep throating that cigar, a gun barrel goes in his mouth, and he's like,
"Hey, big boy,
suck on this.
This barrel's feeling a little dry. Want to help me out?"
And he's like, he pulls up Pete out. He's like, "You and me are gonna go for a little ride, and we're gonna find that $113,000."
Yeah. So they're starting to load up into Jimmy's car, and that's when, of course, Hunter and Dee Dee. Yeah. And they immediately go to the salesman. Yep.
No, they immediately go to the arsenal in the trunk, which is the trunk's being held down by
the duct tape.
And so Hunter hands her a gun, pulls out his dirty hair. She's like, "Where the fuck did you get that?"
"Oh, my dad gave it to me as a graduation gift."
And then she goes, "All I got was an encyclopedia set."
Wah, wah, wah. Oh, whammy bar rather. Funny joke.
So they go up to the dealer. They're like, "Hey, we're looking for a Panhandle Pete." Well, he picked up his car a minute ago. In fact, I think he's right over there. And then they
hear the car. Of course, it struggles to start now when it's most inconvenient. And he's like, "Oh, that's Panhandle Pete right there. Hey, Pete." So of course, guns are drawn. Jimmy, who is making Pete drive, Jimmy pulls out, starts shooting. Hunter takes cover. Pulls everybody else down. The two of them now just steal a couple of cars.
Like commandeer a couple.
Okay,
it's a dealership.
Yeah,
He pulled out his badge and said police business.
This is true.
So that's legal. And they take off in some Chryslers. So there's another car chase. Not very exciting.
Oh, it's boring.
It ends with Pete's driving into some garbage.
Yeah. So what they did, we get to see some good evasive maneuvers. We talked about in the sizzle reel. We get to see Hunter drive on the sidewalk and nearly hit people.
But he didn't.
Dee Dee manages to get around them somehow and cuts them off and forces them to turn into like this dilapidated old brick building.
It's like a house being demolished.
Yeah. And so there's like just taller and smaller or whatever.
Well, it seems like the house was demolished, but there's like a basement kind of area. So they're like walking across all this, like brickwork and girders and shit.
So like you said, they run over boxes. Pete's fucked up. He can't even get out of the car. And
he gets out, but then Dee Dee's like, freeze, spread them.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
And she's like, I bet you know how to spread them. Little homophobic joke there.
It was the 80s. Yeah. We weren't, the birdcage wasn't out yet. That's what made everybody accept gays was the birdcage.
The birdcage?
Yeah.
Not the original La Cage aux Folles?
Oh, wow, there was the original.
Yeah, it was a French movie.
French are far beyond our brain capacities. And so here's what I didn't get. Jimmy gets out of the car and he's limping.
Dude, I was in a car accident and fucking broke my kneecap, split it in half.
Really?
Yeah, so I was limping too in the same kind of situation.
And you got in a car accident against boxes.
No, it was a car. It was another car. But it could happen. You could slide into the dash.
The dash.
'Cause nobody wore seatbelts back then.
Yeah, that's true too.
He says he's method, dude. Wings is method.
All right, here's what would happen if I were in a car accident.
So he limps away, and he's going over all this garbage. Hunter's chasing him. Freeze!
We get some shoots. There's exchanging some shots here and there. And then finally, Hunter gets the high... Or not Hunter, but Jimmy gets the high ground. And he goes, "Hey, Hunter! Haas!" And he turns around, and he misses his shot.
Right.
So then Hunter gets his chance and doesn't miss.
Great death scene by
the face.
Hauser. Facials were great.
Oh, my God. His glasses fly off his face, and he slowly falls backwards. The hat is just fluttering in the wind somehow like a cartoon, like Woody Woodpecker.
And then Hunter's like standing over, looking down. He picks up the hat, brushes it off.
We get that shot from down below, and he's just looking up there tall, looking down on him. It's a good shot. But, Murray, we were talking about this. Why did they end the reign of this character?
This would have been the greatest spin-off character. He would have been the Frasier of the Hunter world.
I agree.
But no. I think maybe Fred Dreyer, as many people who work opposite Wings Hauser, he felt threatened.
100%. That would have been the great combativeness. They would have had such great on-set chemistry because of that heat between them.
Right.
And all their scenes together were great.
Yeah.
I loved them.
So now here's the wrap-up scene. The captain's bitching. I was like, you want another car after you totaled 2 Chryslers that we're going to have to pay for. Like you said, he's eating the Soylent Green. Just a big grin on his face.
Yeah, just chomping them.
And then he walks out with Dee Dee. He's like, you're not going to believe this. The captain commended us on a job well done. He hopes you get better. Your ribs are all right. She's like, Hunter, you're fucking full of shit.
Yeah.
You're a bad liar. I'm a great liar.
I'm a great liar.
Gets in the car. And she's like, well, why didn't you ask him for another car? McCall, we don't need another car.
It's not the fiddler. It's not the violin.
It's not the fiddle. It's who's
fiddle.
playing. I wrote it right here.
Oh, okay.
And then they drive away, and then all this shit just spews out the bottom. And then they go, one final. There you have it, people. Hunter.
So we believe this is coming out on Labor Day.
Labor Day morning. Well,
Yep.
whatever. You guys are going to hear it when you hear it. Why
When
are
you
we
hear
like?
it.
Why are we previewing something they're going to be already listening to?
Well, I want to wish them a happy Labor Day. 'Cause
Oh,
that's when it's
yeah.
coming out. This is when you're intended to listen to it.
Yeah, so you should all. There's no excuse.
Yeah.
To not well, unless you're not living in America, I guess.
Right. We didn't have a guest on because we didn't want anyone else to do the work. You just sit back and relax. And maybe go. This is for free on YouTube. How is this show for free on YouTube?
Because we're saints. That's why.
We ordained it. We said make Hunter free for everybody.
Oh, the show. I thought you were talking about our show.
No, Hunter.
It's free on YouTube? I watch it on Tubi.
Yeah, it's free on YouTube.
Oh, well.
That's where we just watched it.
I wasn't paying attention. I watched it on Tubi. And that was free on Tubi as well.
Yeah,
Wait,
that's true.
there was a lot of commercials on it. I'm
was-
getting really sick of the commercials on YouTube. It's going overboard
It was
now.
because we were Chromecasting it.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
But what I do like is that our next Tippy-Tap will be a cop in a field. We're gonna go. We got a very special guest from that drug-infested cultural wasteland known as Indiana. That should be a clue right there. I'm not going to spoil it. We're going to be talking about a favorite of his as well as Griff's.
This is
Little
true.
teaser.
Little teaser.
That'll be happening in a couple weeks. Look for that. And Griff, you wanted to see our way out?
Oh, my God, everybody. I can't wait for our next Tippy-Tap. But until then, I'm listening.